We have a fun A-B comparison video for you today on a 233S Rockwood Roo here at Haywood RV of Coldwater, Michigan. It comes in at 5,075 pounds as we see it here. And what we're calling the Haywood RV Essentials Edition. This basically is where we take a Rockwood Roo or Mini-Lite or something like that, and we only upgrade what we feel are the bare essentials, like things like a power tongue jack, something that 100% of people are going to want across the board. Rockwood allows you to build their RVs a number of different ways, so we like to bring them in a couple different things. We're going to do a quick walk around here in what we're calling the Haywood Essentials Edition before we dive in further detail on a Haywood Premium Package version of the same camper. And I would love it along the way if you folks could leave us some notes in the video description or rather in the comment section. How would you like your Rockwood built? I am all ears. I'm also glad we had a chance to do this sort of A-B comparison so I could capture some footage of the camper with the slide out closed. The footage that you'll see in a minute, I wanted to get, you know, the shots of the RV all closed up then with the slide closed, the beds closed like you're seeing right now. But by the time I got to the camper, the bed ends were already open and it was raining and I didn't want to close them up wet because that's a bad idea. So you see here, you've got a very high level, like you can fully access the RV. Theoretically, you could leave the slide closed and open like the front and rear bed ends. And then maybe you could get away, instead of using the side bed, you could fold down this big true U dinette over here. But the fact is, if you need to get through the camper, you need to get it packed up, you have the ability to do all that here. You can get to the bathroom, you can get to any ounce of storage, including the refrigerator, without ever opening the slide. So it is a very travel-friendly model that opens up into a large destination camper. I'm going to do a real fast flyby inside and outside of this thing because, again, for a real deep dive overview of this RV, stay tuned for the end, where you can directly compare what we're looking at here in what I call the Essentials Edition versus a full-on premium package. The biggest difference in here is that cosmetically, almost every single surface looks different from the premium package. Starting from the bottom and working our way up, we are looking at the standard sort of stone print floor versus a wood print floor. This is the slate wood cabinetry. Now, the raised panel cabinet doors have been standardized through Rockwood production, and the fabric decors that we saw on the sofa is what's called pebble instead of chocolate. All that being said, I've never really seen a Rockwood RV that doesn't look pretty darn good no matter how you outfit it. You see things like your max air vent fans don't change. Things like heated holding tanks have become far more common, thankfully. It's really just a difference in visual elements inside the RV. The major equipment differences between the two variations in which we build this RV are largely found on the exterior of the camper, or maybe not found on the exterior of the camper, depending on which version you're looking at. Back outside in the Essentials Edition here at Haywood RV, you see we leave the original champagne skin color package. There are some people who just don't like white and gray. Some people really like the classic sort of tones we have here. One of the only options that we do apply to the Essentials is the power tongue jack, so that getting hitched up is simple and easy. Just like the big version, like you still got the frameless windows, the enclosed belly, the all aluminum skeleton furniture, you know. Very little, like, in terms of functional things really change. We don't change the build of these, just the trim package, and that's the easiest way to think of it. Where, even though Rockwood doesn't officially have these, we're effectively creating trim packages between these, so that if, like, what you're looking for is you want a really high-class RV, but you are on a budget, or you just don't need all the bells and whistles, that's where this camper is going to come and play for you. You see up top, you still have that max air vent cover over both of those power vent fans. Those are standard things. All that we tend to add to them is widgets, whiz-bangs, gizmos, etc. Now, those widgets, whiz-bangs, gizmos, etc. that you're going to see in the premium package in just a minute are very fun. They're very sharp, they're very cool. They do add some weight to the RV, and they do add some cost to the RV. So we like to let you kind of build your own adventure and pick the Rockwood that works best for you. But I think we've talked enough about it. Let's actually take a look at the premium package right about now. 5,050 pounds, as you see it here, in what we like to refer to as the Haywood Premium Package, which is basically what happens when you take this Rockwood 233S here at Haywood RV and you just go right down the options list and mark every single thing. So this is basically what the result is if you take a 233S Rockwood and add every option and all of the things to it. Again, we call it the premium package versus the more simple essentials edition. Hopefully we'll have a chance to put some footage together on that in the near future. And here's what the 233S offers that almost any other hybrid just can't match. And that is this big, expansive living space. This is a small camper that becomes very large when you reach your destination because essentially the whole thing opens up. You've got this deep dinette slide. You have 3 60 by 80 heated queen beds to expand the space. None of that stuff occupies floor space. So the floor is largely wide open. So like on a day like today where it's raining a little bit outside, you're going to spend extended time in the RV. You're going to appreciate the extra living space this gives you. And something I noticed, a small but a really important update from the previous generation, are those slide side windows. They have increased the size of those, specifically the height. They're about twice as tall as they used to be, to give you more light, more airflow, a larger feeling RV, but you can still pull down those night privacy shades if you want to blot out the sun. Nothing has really changed in the way of our entertainment package. The TV still pivots out, that it can dismount and be used outside. You've got the Bluetooth DVD stereo up top with the HDMI input if you want to add like a little streaming stick like a Chromecast or something like that. Free-floating U-dinette table here, and first of all, that is a full true U-dinette, meaning it's about 7 foot long and just shy of 4 foot deep, so if you really want to wrap the whole family in there, you can. And just like in previous years, you're going to find great storage through this thing. Now that free-floating table has an elliptical base, so if you want to take it outside for picnic time, you can, like I mentioned, but it can also fold down into a sleeper in that big 7 foot true U-dinette. And that's what's cool about this camper. This is, like a lot of bunkhouses, they're good for sleeping kids, but you can't sleep adults in them, and you won't have that problem here. Now you see that shiny framework inside of this baggage door? This is a really neat thing Rockwood does. They aluminum frame pretty much any furniture they build in-house, and that's a pretty exceptionally uncommon quality. And you can look through the entire dinette base is all aluminum skeleton like that. So they've given you very easy access to your bench storage here. The question then becomes, yeah, but what about the rear bench where that table's positioned? How do I get to that? You could lift the cushions to get to it, but you don't really have to, because Rockwood has included an outside baggage access door on the face of that slide to get to that storage. So they've kind of created that as outside storage, although you could use it indoors if you are so inclined. Then over here in the entertainment center, some interesting sort of relics from the history of Rockwood RV. This little like drawbridge door that kind of drops down, that used to be there for things like it gave you a place to like add a VCR, something like that. Like this floor plan has been in production. Rockwood is so established in the industry that you can trace Rockwoods back to those times. A lot of brands can't say that. But they decided just to leave it in over the years because it wasn't hurting anything, and frankly, it gives you a handy place to be able to set things like Blu-ray players now. And it can be a phone charging station, and it's kind of cool how it just became repurposed into something different. So like I said, you can mount that TV inside or outside as you're so inclined. If you've got a little streaming stick, you can plug it in up here. You can see that HDMI port and the powering USB plug on the front of it. Then up here you see the Winegard antenna. It's digital and analog. You don't have to crank it up and down, really. You just kind of turn it the direction you want and channel scan. Now, somewhat recently, very recently actually, just before the time of this filming, Rockwood had upgraded the Mini-Lite and Roo series to include this 33% larger 8 cubic foot fridge freezer. And the raised panel refrigerator inserts are now standard. Those used to be an optional piece of equipment. Before I get too far along as we're looking up here, you trace the roof line. You see how it's kind of bowed up? I don't use liar, liar, pants on fire, fisheye camera lenses. I use flat camera lenses so that to the best of my ability, I can make sure you see what I see in person. It's never the same. There's a reason I call our RV showcase here a dressing room, so that you can come try them on for size. But this does have a vaulted ceiling. It's a 2-inch ceiling vault. It's still laminated, but it still gives you that extra sense of space, and it just looks classy. Also notice you have centralized air, and if you're paying attention, you can see we have dual ducted central air. Now, In the premium package here, we will upgrade this to a 15,000 BTU air conditioner, whereas we'll leave the standard 13.5 in the more Essentials edition. So again, we kind of build these Rockwoods a number of different ways for different needs, wants, budgets. What's really nice though, is anything that really matters, the core of the RV doesn't change between the two. Like the good looking cabinetry. Now the flooring, the cabinet tones, the furniture tones, those are all variant options from one to the other. No matter how we order it, it seems to be wrong, but I've also never found a Rockwood that looks bad. Here we are looking at the maple hardwood upgrade, which does add those raised panel cabinet doors versus the slatewood flat panel cabinet doors. This is the chocolate fabric decor versus the pebble, and this is the wood print floor versus the more stone print style of flooring, just to give you a reference point. But no matter which cabinet color or cabinet door face you choose, you'll always get a hardwood cabinet framed door, and you always have pocket screwed cabinetry. This is the kind of cabinetry that tends to hold together better as it gets jarred down the road over time. Now we've got a 6.5 foot tall floor to ceiling pantry over here, and that's something hybrids are not known for. Kitchen counter space is another thing that historically has not been friendly in hybrid camping. And in point of fact, this is not the largest kitchen, but with the recessed stovetop, that tempered glass stove cover, as well as the sink covers over that stainless steel sink that you can see right there, you've actually got a fair amount of prep space. Plus, remember, this has an outside cooking and prep station that kind of piggybacks off of and expands here. So there's a little more than meets the eye. What's also easy to miss is that's a larger 22-inch oven versus a more industry conventional 16. And you can see plywood drawers. Wherever they can, you're going to find plywood box drawers in a Rockwood, not particle board with a sticker wrap. Then just the little details, like including that handy little utensil organizer there. Just those little Rockwood touches. Now, in terms of storage, all three hybrid beds have something of like a storage chest under them. So if you're looking for a place to be able to stuff a couple duffel bags full of clothes, you've got it. Remember, these are 60 by 80 heated queen beds all the way around. You have 3 queen beds in this floor plan, which is something no bunkhouse this size could ever offer. A couple more things here. Rockwood always goes further, and that's just, I call it Rockwood doing Rockwood things. Like, you've got these little cargo hammock jobs here. Now, you can take them down if you're not a fan of these. And they are adjustable. So if you don't want them hanging down quite as far as I have them here, you don't have to. You can have them almost snug up against the roof of that thing. But they create a handy space to be able to throw some extra things, which, again, in hybrids, storage is always a problem. Also, standard, every hybrid bed. So on this floor plan, there's 3 hybrid beds. You will get these Bunk End Fan lights from Rockwood RV. And when I turn it like that, you see the difference it makes in terms of casting light over there. And these things are really important because you have soft side beds. There's no way that you can run like air conditioning or lighting. There's no way you can run wiring and ducting on top of there because it's just a soft side material. So these things right here, they give you a lot of light in this little bat cave of a bed. And they also use the nicer dual speed fans. Now, unfortunately, this is one of those things I don't think you can really experience until you're in person, but you kick that thing into high gear and it pushes some serious air. I mean, just to give you an idea, guys, it literally blew some hair off my head. But then again, maybe that was just Mother Nature getting a hold of me. I'm not sure. Moving on. In the back, nothing special or different to see here, just the fact that it is a third bed that includes a third bunk light fan thing, and again, they're all the same size. The bathroom here is actually very nice for a hybrid camper, and like all Rockwoods, it starts with the Max Air vent fan up top here, complete with the matching roof vent cover. You can actually see the fins of that vent cover through the mesh of the fan filter. That provides superior airflow here, and if you crank open those frameless windows, it will still pull a ton of air through the camper. Now, what's cool in a Rockwood Roo is you get not one but 2 of these. We'll see the other one in the living room in just a minute. How about dedicated linen space here? This is the kind of stuff that a budget brand will leave out. They'll say, well, it costs a little extra money and it adds a little more weight to build that. Tell me anyone who's ever not going to want a linen cabinet in their bathroom. It just doesn't make sense. You might notice how all of the roofs, just like their Mini Lite sisters, are ventless flooring. So very easy to clean, very kid-friendly, very handy here in the bathroom, especially if you have little boys. I'm sure everybody knows what I mean there. And we've got a larger radius shower, so even a big person like me has plenty of elbow room, and I can actually stand in the shower for a couple reasons. One, remember it's vaulted, but two, the laminated nature of this ceiling allows Rockwood to mount their skylights at wacky 45-degree angles like this, and it looks a little odd, but it's super, super functional. And what that means is that it's located right in front of where you're going to stand for that shower head. So I have maximum headroom in here. And then once again, Rockwood doing Rockwood things. They have that easily removable little shower caddy, so you have a place to put your body wash and your soaps. And if you're dry camping, you'll like the little shower miser edition that they've added to the shower here. Basically, it's a way to conserve fresh water so that you're not wasting an ounce of it when you are dry camping. Now, they opt for a large sink so that adults can actually get their hands in here. Note that easy reach appliance outlet on the left. But that sink means we've got very limited counter space. So they add an extra shelf on it because why not? You know, they've done everything so far. Why not go a step further? So flipping ourselves forward here, taking a second look back at the living room. Remember, up top, we have another of those Max Air vent fans, again, complete with vent cover. There's also more storage above, below the sofa, and below that front hybrid bed that we haven't seen yet. Just like our kitchen cabinetry, we're all pocket screwed here, and they just don't waste an ounce of space. Anytime that they have a chance to do any sort of storage area in here, they do. Under that front bed, the left door opens, and you notice it's paneled off with a sticker there. That's indicating that there's the water pump and water filter access there for winterizing. Also, the storage below the sofa is accessible either through this interior door or the outside baggage door. This is also a little different type of sleeper sofa. That the back cushion actually rolls over the top, and you see that extra support leg right there. It makes this thing very sturdy and stable, so if you're a little bit bigger than the average bear like me, frankly, it's a little bit longer sofa, you could sleep another adult there if you really had to. And that's what's, again, cool about this floor plan. You could sleep 6 adults easy between the 3 queen beds, but between that sofa and the 7-foot-long dinette, I think you could sleep 7 or 8 adults in here, let alone all the kiddos. On that premium package, which again is not an official thing, but it's just kind of an in-house designator, we've gone with the white skin exterior on here versus the standard champagne, and to be fair, I don't think there's a bad looking Rockwood. I've seen Rockwoods with every color combination of interior, exterior, flooring, cabinetry, whatever. They don't make ugly Rockwoods. Maybe you prefer one over the other, and that's why we carry multiple different looking and equipment package Rockwoods, and no doubt the one that I have in stock will be the wrong one, because that's just the way of the world. But here what we're looking at, that white skin exterior, one of the things I thought about especially handy on a hybrid, where you've got, you know, like this, we put the larger 15,000 BTU air conditioner on this, but you've got these triple hybrid bed ends that are going to spill out a lot of that extra power. That's one of the things about the white skin. It'll help the RV stay a little bit cooler, I think. A lot of people will appreciate that. Now, one of the only differences between a Roo and a Minilite, because they're actually the same camper, this is just the hybrid version, is it does have 20-pound propane tanks instead of 30s, because 30s would be too tall. It would hit the bottom of the hybrid door. Note the smart, simple, effective details, too, of the fact that all of our bed ends, they're all C-channeled in place, so you don't have to, like, mess with any of this stuff. And they put their handles for the bed ends right down here, and they do lock for security, which is nice. So you don't have to reach way, way up there. Now, I don't think many brands are leaving their latches way up high in the sky like they used to nowadays, but a lot of brands have actually ceased hybrid production because basically they couldn't compete with Rockwood. It's funny. Rockwood is the best-selling lightweight trailer. They're the best-selling pop-up camper. They're the best-selling hybrid. They're pretty much top of their class anytime that they decide that they're going to do something. Now, as we discussed inside, we've got those new larger side breeze windows here on the slide-out. But, of course, you still have the gorgeous-looking frameless window package. Now, the one thing with, like, on a rainy, drizzly day like today, those those are slider windows for superior sunny day airflow. These frameless windows are very good on days like today where it's a little bit drizzly out. But they do get a little bit less airflow. That's one of the cool things about a Rockwood Roo, having not one, but two of those bigger max air vent fans up in the ceiling, one in the living room, one in the bathroom, because it overpowers the potential deficiency of those windows to maintain good airflow. You can see on our Haylet Premium package, we have added the slide-out awning as well. And if you look up top, you can see the tip of that max air vent fan cover over the bathroom sticking up. There's another one matching that on the front vent as well. So our hookups are all kind of back here in the corner, but you can see that outside shower there, very handy for some campsite cleanups, especially right next to that sewer hookup area. And you can see how below your hybrid beds there is there are storage trunks effectively. Now here's a more recent update. This is something that began in the fall of 2019 calendar year, and that's the 2-inch receiver hitch on the back of these Rockwood Roos, so that if you want to add things like a bike rack in transit, you can do so without voiding your factory warranty. Or maybe you go off grid, you want a small generator or something back there. Whatever the case is, it gives you more options to do more things. So this is a fully aluminum skeleton product, just like the dinette even is an aluminum skeleton. You know, anything Rockwood builds in-house pretty much has an aluminum skeleton to it. It's just what they do. The only part of this that's not laminated is the floor. But they went with a heavy-duty fifth-wheel style floor construction. It's a 5/8 tug and groove plywood floor decking with, you know, your 2x3 aluminum studs running through the floor, which is exactly how they build these like 17,000-pound fifth wheels. The floor of this is almost absurdly overbuilt. But no tour of one of these Roos would be complete without taking a really good look at the patio area here, because they spend a lot of time, money, and effort over here. You've got things like a maximum length awning to give you a whole lot of shaded space, or on a day like today, you're probably not picking it up from camera, I am getting very lightly spritzed, although it's not enough that you're going to be like locked inside of the trailer. So it's nice to be able to be out here under the awning where it's still dry. Now, they've made a more recent update to their outside kitchen arrangement. They still have the handy little side mount table, but instead of an outside grill, it's including one of these really nice griddles. But what's cool is you can use that griddle either on this little side shelf, you could use it on a picnic table, and it still includes the bracket so that you could have like this open for a platter. So like maybe you got bacon and eggs, you want to scoop them over onto the platter when you're done, you can. The gas grill quick connect down below, it's centered right in the middle of that little mounting rail, so if you wanted to have the table or the griddle on one side or the other, if you want to have it near or far from that indoor-outdoor TV, you could do that. And once again, it's the entire swing arm dismount, so if you want to have that out here and have it pivoted around to face your campsite, you can. There's, of course, LED lighting under the awning that I failed to turn on, naturally, because I'm just not with it. I'm trying to break my caffeine habit right now. I've got a wicked headache, and, like, my brain ain't half functioning. So, pardon me, I'm on 6 cylinders instead of 6.5. Never mind. Auto rain dump feature, manual tilt and lock awning. We've also got, this is cool. So, Rockwood already had a best-in-class suspension system. You have 4-wheel independent suspension here. And that's very cool. It's not a leaf spring or anything like that. It rides very nicely, and especially if you're going around sharp corners, it'll keep the camper level and flat. The RV won't body roll and try to suck you off the road. But now they are including tire pressure monitoring systems with these. And I don't know of anyone else in the mainstream market that's ever done anything like that. That is a really cool, smart safety feature. So while you're zipping down the road, you can have the peace of mind, confidence, and security of knowing what's going on back there. You know, you're not guessing. You're not looking in the mirror going, oh, buddy, I hope we make it. They've had these MORryde stable steps for about a season and a half now, and they can keep them until the end of time as far as I'm concerned, because those things keep the whole RV from rocking and rolling around. You've also got the larger entry handle and anti-slam door for some easy come-and-go action. And if you notice, like, hybrids are not known for having an exceptional amount of outside storage, but Rockwood still treats it nicely. Like, you've got the magnet holdbacks on this door for easy access to that. And one thing that you can't easily see here is the Wi-Fi Ranger on the top of the RV. long story short, if you don't know what that is, it's effectively the RV has like a built-in router signal access point. It does have the ability to be upgraded to get like LTE signal from a cell carrier. You just basically buy minutes, effectively, is how it is. And or you buy data rather, not minutes. That's, holy cow, that's going way back in the cell phone days. But the point is, you can kind of get one of these built any way you want. Like I said, what we're looking at here is what I call the premium package, where it just has all of the things. But you can also get it in what we also like to refer to as the Haylett RV Essentials Edition. So there's a Rockwood for any person, any budget, and you know, there's a dealer for them right over here at Haylett RV of Coldwater, Michigan, where we don't do hidden dealer fees, but we do hitching, pieces, parts, trades, finance, truck and trailer package deals, RV delivery, and everything in between. So take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone.